If you're struggling to land online fitness clients, I can guarantee you it's because your Instagram account is not growing. I can say this because I have consulted with a fuck ton of coaches since 2018. We've been doing this longer than anybody else. At this point, as of this morning, we've worked with 3,499 people, helping them to build their online fitness businesses, quit their jobs, and so on. It's literally all I do all day, every day. It's all this channel is about. Whenever I have a coach come to me and they're struggling to land clients, one of the first things I do is get them to go to their Instagram insights and to check their account growth over the past 30 days. Most business mentors will try and make you feel good by telling you it's not about the followers, don't worry about it, but it is. It's not about the number of followers, it's about the growth of the account. It's just fact, you need new people becoming aware of you. We call it traffic. No big business can survive without lead flow and traffic of new customers or potential customers. And your business, a coaching business, is exactly the same. So at minimum, what you want to be shooting for is around 1 to 3% of account growth per month, minimum. If you can go above 3%, that's phenomenal. So pause this video, pull out your phone, go to your Instagram profile, click Insights or Professional Dashboard, I think it's called, hit New Followers. The top left drop down should be set to last 30 days, and then you'll have a little percentage number. You want to make sure that that is at least 1% growth per month. Anything less than that, or if it's even sitting around 1%, this is why you're not landing clients. So this video is going to show you exactly how to grow your account on Instagram in 2026. I'm going to go through the 3 main levers that we can pull for account growth. So lever number 1 will be content, but it's not what you think. I'm not going to just sit and say you need to be consistent and all that bullshit. You know this. Second is ads or paid stuff. And then third is influencers. So let's dive straight into content. First thing with content is it's really important that you understand how the algorithm works, okay? So you need to understand that every platform's goal is to hold attention and keep people on the platform. That is what it rewards. So Instagram, for example, which is ultimately the best platform for building an online fitness business and signing up clients, Instagram's a free platform for its users. How it makes money is through advertisers spending, money on Instagram ads, Facebook ads, all that sort of stuff. So what Instagram incentivizes its creators, you, to do is to produce content that people either sit and read, click a message, leave comments, double tap, save, any form of engagement. Basically, Instagram rewards that for maintaining attention on the platform. Okay, that is like the number 1 goal that Instagram has. So what happens is you post a piece of content and then it either does well or it doesn't. And depending on how well it does, will allow it to get shown to more people. So I'll explain. So let me give you 3 scenarios, okay? So what happens when we first post a piece of content is Instagram will show it to our sort of like most loyal followers. So Instagram knows through its algorithms and so on, who DMs you the most, who watches your stories, who currently engages on your content. So it could be your mum, your dad, and your brother or sister, right? So whoever these most frequent followers are that actually engage on your stuff, it will perform a mini sort of micro test initially. So you'll post a piece of content and this content will be shown to this like core little following of yours initially. Now, if they engage on it, which means, if it's a reel, like watching it in its entirety and actually opening it up and watching it and completing the reel, if it's liking it, if it's saving it, if it's sharing it, shares apparently are the highest ranked. If people comment on it, all of this sort of stuff is judged to be engagement. Now, if this core subset of people engage on it, then it will be shown to a larger subset of your audience. So now it will start to go out to some of the people that follow you that don't typically engage on your content, okay? From there, if they engage on it, it'll of course go to more people. If they don't engage on it, then it just kind of stops dead. Okay, so that's like one example. Second example, again, post a piece of content, get shown to this initial core subset. They don't engage on it, it's not going to get shown to anybody. So scenario 1 on the left is the core people engage on it, get sent to the second wave of people on the left-hand side. They don't engage on it, it stops. Scenario in the middle is it gets shown to the core people. They don't even engage on it, doesn't go any further. Now let's look over here. This is what we want to happen. Content gets shown to your core followers, they engage on it. Then that gets shown to your sort of other followers that don't engage as much. They also engage on it. At that point, it will start to get shown to like really old followers of yours, and potentially it will get shown to some non-followers via the explore page. Now, if they also engage on it, then that has the chance to land on the Explore page fully, get shown to loads of people, and then you basically end up in this like infinite glitch, this loop of it just constantly testing, and it will just show it to new pockets of audiences, and either it does well and it keeps getting shown to more people, or it doesn't do well, and then in which case it just stops dead, and this is where account growth stops. So when we talk about certain posts going viral, this is what happens. It's a series of like mini tests, and Meta, Instagram, will just keep serving this piece of content to like the next layer of like audience, the next pocket of audience. And if they engage on it, it will get shown to the next and the next and the next. That's eventually how virality happens. That's really the goal with growth-based content. You know, first thing to understand, of course, is some pieces of content are not really ever designed to go viral as such. Like if you have social proof based content of client results where you're trying to make a call to action and so on, that's really served to your current audience, trying to nurture them, show them that you're an expert, and then potentially get them into the DMs and convert them. Other pieces of content we specifically put out there to try and get in front of new audiences and grow. So that's the very first thing to understand, is how the algorithm works and what we're trying to do with certain pieces of content. The next thing is just a bit of a checklist that I just don't really see that many people put thought into or go through. I'm going to just quickly go through like 5 things here, and I think some of these are like really important, okay? So number 1 is, before we look at anything else, just the quality of the content has to be good. And this doesn't mean highly edited, okay? So an example is, let's look at these sorts of reels of mine, okay, from a while back. You see these are like really well polished, really highly edited and so on. That's one type of content, okay? Now let me show you this, just so you know where I'm going with this. If I go to, let's say, my most recent reel that I did here, there is no fancy editing, right? It's just one shot. It's just got a little caption, you know, some speech, just with the inbuilt captions tool, nothing fancy. There's no fancy editing. There's no jump cuts. There's no transitions. My point to this though is the quality is good. Even though the reel is more low key, should we say, no fancy editing, the audio quality, you know, using a microphone, is really, really important. And then the camera quality, the lighting. Anytime somebody sees like really grainy footage, instantly they're just gonna scroll because it's just not a nice experience. Anytime that the audio quality is bad, if it's really echoey, if there's loads of background noise and stuff. So I would always recommend that you just get like a simple wireless microphone that you can find on Amazon or whatever. So that's the first thing that's really important. Second is leaning into your strengths when it comes to format. So if you are naturally somebody that's very good on camera, or if you're somebody that's like really humorous, good sense of humor, gift of the gab, you always make people laugh, then you should totally like lean into doing more video content, and especially styles that are funny and skits and humorous and so on. If you are somebody that really doesn't like getting in front of the camera, or you just don't feel that you've got kind of the energy, the presence, the authority on it, at least not in this present moment, then the next question would be like, are you good at writing? Can, instead of doing like face to camera reels like I just showed you there, could you instead do written carousels? Really what's best is ultimately doing both. So if I show you, you know, my account, for example, you'll see here, you know, talking to camera here, and then you'll see carousels here and whatnot. So you want to start thinking, when it comes to the format of content, what do I lean more towards? What am I better at? Initially, if you're open to it, I would suggest that you do both, and then we can analyze the content that I'll come to in a second and see which performs best. Third is ideas. So a few places that you can get ideas. Number 1 is your own story, your own struggles, and so on. So for example, I put up a piece of content the other day that spoke about me having done 11 years, you know, on the gym floor, not being able to take holidays and so on. And then I transitioned my business online, and suddenly I had I went on 9 different holidays in the first 12 months. So that's me talking about like my own story. So you want to have a think about, what were your struggles previously? What was your story? What got you into fitness and getting in shape? Why do you want to help other people? What's it done for you? All that sort of stuff. Second is, once you start working with more and more clients, you can then look into the questions that they ask you, or the struggles that you see them go through. So this video that I'm doing, for example, on content growth, is because my own students struggle with growing initially when they come to us. We check their accounts, they're flatlined, they're not growing, or they struggle with ideation for content. So everything that I teach you on this video is very easy for me to find because my own students ask it. Third would be competitors. So if there are other people in the space that you look up to, I would never recommend that you copy or plagiarize content. But of course, if there's somebody that has a much, much, much larger following than you, they produce content that gets lots of engagement, success leaves clues. So looking at kind of their best pieces and then going, how can I reverse engineer this to have my own voice on it, my own spin on it? Do not just copy and paste somebody's caption. Do not just download somebody's script that they've worked hard for on their reel and then read it word for word as if it was your own. But take the style of the content, maybe the opening hook, and then the rest of it should be yours. And then the last one is a really underlooked one, which is creators in other niches. So for example, I attempt to play golf very badly. There are some creators in the golf space that have a certain style of content that just does so well and it's really engaging. If I had the personality for it, I would take what they do in the golf space and then bring it into the sort of business coaching space. Sadly, I'm not quite as entertaining and funny as them, so I'll park that. But the goal here is to look at people from other spaces, go onto your explore page, see what has you stop in the scroll, and then again, look at that and go, okay, how can I apply this for my audience or my niche or with my experience? I'm gonna come to this in a second in terms of analysis and looking at the explore page. So next up would be execution. What I mean by this is you really want to pay attention to the opening hook that you have with content. So for example, I believe I started this video with something like, if you're struggling to land clients, I can guarantee it's because your account's not growing. We've helped X amount of people. That's quite a strong hook that if you are trying to build a coaching business and you haven't signed up a client in a few weeks, you're gonna listen to that and go, oh fuck, it's because of this account growth. So that's like an example of a hook. If I go again back to my Instagram account, let me find myself on here. You can see here the one in the middle at the top, 8 years of business coaching advice in 60 seconds. Does what it says on the tin, catch you straight away. The one in the middle right now, don't listen to them. And then it talks about other mentors giving certain advice. If we look at what was another one that did quite well, like this one on the left, why I quit 11 years of PT to become an online coach. There was another one, this one on the left, my partner and I don't mind admitting. And then it talks about splitting things into pink and blue jobs. So it's like a hook that people will find intriguing. So that's the first thing, is you want to pay attention to just that first line that people see. The second thing would be filler and fluff. So what I mean by this is 9 times out of 10, most content could be made better through reduction. So what I will tend to do with my Instagram content is I will script a reel or I will write a carousel and then I'll just leave it for a bit. And then I'll go back and I'll go, what words here can I remove or delete? Most people just use too many words and it ends up just having loads of, somebody watches a reel or reads a carousel and there's just so much filler in there and hyperbolics that just don't need to be used. So whenever you can do, just try and use the least amount of words possible. It's a really underrated copywriting tip, is just use less words, get to the point quicker. And then the third one here would be obvious shit. So what I mean by that is, if I started this video about the content growth and the 3 ways, and then I went to content and I'm like, you need to be really consistent with your content. You need to post every day, or you need to just show up. You need to be patient with it. You wouldn't be watching this video at this point. You would have gone, yeah, I fucking know that, of course. And I see too many people do this with their fitness-based content, basically. Again, they're like, the most underrated, whatever way to get to the goal, consistency. And people just eye roll and go, I fucking know I need to be consistent. How do I be consistent? That's what you want to do. So just try and, whenever you go to produce a piece of value-based content that's giving advice, just read through it and go, is this actually something that people haven't heard before? And that they can apply it immediately? Or is this another surface level thing where they're just going to watch it and go, yeah, of course, I know I need to do more of that. I know it sounds obvious, by the way, but I just see it done to death. Next is the analysis. So you want to then, like every month, at the end of the month, you should check your insights on Instagram. Now, 2 ways of doing this. Number one is you can have like, build yourself a simple Google tracking sheet. I've got one. If you DM me on Instagram and just say like content tracker and just reference this video, I can send it to you, no problem. But Instagram actually does like a little wrap up at the end of each month. So you'll get a notification at the end of each month where it's like, I can't remember what it says, but it'll be in your notifications. I think it's on like the last day of the month or the first day of the new month, where it basically looks at your like 3 best performing pieces of content, and then it'll actually show you 3 other styles of content that other people in your space are doing. It's really good. So either track it in a Google Sheet yourself or look at this thing. What you're looking for here is outlier content. So which of my pieces of content performed best? Was it carousels or reels? Was it B-roll reels or was it talking heads? Is it when I talk about nutrition or is it when I talk about training? And then you also want to look into the insights and check the ratio of followers to non-followers. You want some of your content having larger shifts towards non-followers, which would indicate that your content is landing on the explore page. So let me just show you this screenshot here. So this is one of our students, Victoria, who'd not really done much of the content auditing that we recommend. We have full trackers and stuff. She just kept posting content, being very consistent. But as part of this challenge that we had our students do, she's like, I audited 30 posts. Most views were under 1K. One post had 3K views, Anyway, for my next piece, I decided to go to the explore page and I found something, and to find something more interesting, I posted it and almost 10K views, 4 follows, 3 shares already in 12 hours. So that's the power of A, going through and looking at your insights, and then B, paying attention to what other creators do on the explore page and going, what naturally makes me stop and read or watch, and then recreating your versions of that. So that's it for content. Understand the algorithm and how it works. It performs mini tests. Make sure the quality is good. Lean into your strengths, whether it's on video or written. Pay attention to hooks. Delete filler words. Get rid of any obvious stuff that people are just going to roll their eyes at and go, oh, yep. And then analyze what works and what doesn't. Next up, so we've spoken through content. Now it's moving into ads. So with ads, we have the main type is what we'll call meta ads. And we have 2 ways that we do this. We have like quote unquote proper ads, which are done in the business manager. So this would be if you were to launch like a DM funnel or a challenge funnel or a call booking funnel. I personally would not recommend these for you if you're watching this video. They're very technical. You have to learn the thing inside out. You have to be very good at numbers, very good at tracking. And 9 times out of 10, you'll want a media buyer. So I personally have a media buyer that runs all my ads, and I think I pay like 8,000 USD per month. So it's, pretty punchy. So the best thing to do, in my opinion, is this: boosting for profile visits. So when you go onto your own content, if you go to your feed on Instagram, you go to your content, there'll be a little button saying like a boost post, and it's just much, much easier. There's no fancy funnel involved. Firstly, what you want to do is you want to find your best performing organic content. You then want to tweak the caption to promote your page. So in the caption, you would put like follow at Adam Haley for more advice like this. You would boost it, and you have a few options as to what the goal is of you boosting it. I would always recommend that you select, you optimize it for profile visits. If most of your current followers are correct in that most of your followers are your target audience, you just leave the audience setting to automatic and you let Meta do its work. Meta has around 55,000 data points per user, which is insane. I don't know 1,000 things about myself, but Meta knows around 55,000 things about me. So just trust that Meta knows how to target people much better than you do. So leave the targeting down to Meta and then run these ads. And what you're looking to do is you want as low a cost per profile visit as possible. And what's going to happen is these posts of yours that you've done well organically with, they're going to be shown to people, new audiences. These people will start to follow you, and then you can get them in the DMs. And I've spoken about the DM process and the sales process in other videos. Just head to my channel and go check those out. So from an ads perspective for Meta, I would choose boosting profile visit ads over like quote unquote proper ads, because they're just much easier to do and means that you can spend more time on creating good content, focusing on DM, sales calls, delivery, versus trying to learn the ads manager and the platform inside out. Next up, another option would be theme pages. So if for any reason that you're restricted, advertising on Meta, you can do this. So you can search for pages on Instagram that are industry specific or niche specific. So there are theme pages for shift workers, for example. There are theme pages for the police. There are theme pages for golfers, all of these sorts of things. So for example, for me being in the business space, I could search as one called, I think it's called Business Hacks. I could go to this. This is a page all around entrepreneurship and whatnot. And they will do basically like shout out type things. So you can pay this page to have my content shared on their stories with them prompting go follow at Adam Haley. And that's basically what their account is for. So this would be in the business space. If I tap this button here on the right side that I just clicked, it will show other pages just like that. So I can go down a rabbit hole and I can approach each page. I could do the same with like female entrepreneurship and so on. Any industry, basically, it's going to be related to your niche. So first thing to do is to find them. Second thing to do is to DM them to Colab and to ask them how much it would be. Once you've negotiated a rate, your content that you would like to promote basically gets posted onto their stories for like a 24-hour period, and you'll get a large influx of followers from this account. Obviously, you're going to need to check their analytics, the countries that most of their audience are from, and all that good stuff. But this is a good way of doing it if you've been restricted from Meta advertising. If not, then I would go with the boosting and optimize for profile visits, which now moves us into the last way that I would recommend that you grow, which would be influencers. We have two ways of doing this. We have paid, and then we have free. Free is my suggestion, but I'm going to briefly run through paid. So you would approach these influencers like you would theme pages. So you're now going to go out and you're going to try and find big influencers that have big audiences, again, potentially within certain demographics. So could be like huge celebrity makeup artists, that sort of thing. And you're basically going to send them a similar message. How much would it be to Colab and so on? And then again, they will tag you, share your stuff, all that good stuff. Hopefully you can't hear my dog snoring beneath me. But the biggest cheat code, and this is the one I've kind of saved the best till last, this is what anybody watching this should be plugging into, which is what I call micro influencers. So these are influencers that you will end up coaching for free in return for them shouting from the rooftops about you. So I figure, I call this the cheat code basically. We've had people start with us without even having an Instagram, no followers, no content, no coaching experience. We've got one girl, Alex, for example. She had no Instagram account. She came from the yachting industry. She took an online PT qualification, wanted to be a fitness coach, but had never done anything on the gym floor. She joined us. We taught her the micro-influencer method. And now, like 14 months later, she's doing £28,000 per month. We've just got such a track record of this with people coming to us with no experience, running the micro-influencer method, and then just blowing up their business and going from like 0 to 3, 5, 7, 10, 12, 15K months very quickly. So in a nutshell, you want to find different verticals. You might find like makeup artists, you might find travel bloggers, and these micro-influencers, basically they're not pages that are already putting themselves out there as influencers. They're not at that stage yet. They sit just under them. They have more followers than you. They post consistently. They probably have their own business that has like a similar audience to you. Like their clients are the same as your clients, if that makes sense. So there's like a cross-pollination that can happen. And again, we reach out, we offer to coach for free. We've got like specific scripts and stuff that we give to our students, which I'll run through in a second. But effectively, you coach, they plug you on their stories, they show their progress, their results, they tag you every time they go to the gym, every time they check in with you. And it's a phenomenal way of growing your account. Firstly, you get rapid account growth. Secondly, it allows you to get into new geos, meaning new countries. So for example, if you're UK based and you want to start attracting more of a US based audience, you can target and get some US-based micro-influencers to then sort of build your presence in their city. Works phenomenally well. We've got a girl called Kerry on the program. She's just under £40,000 per month. So like almost 50K USD per month. And she's used this approach to crack influencers in the US. The other thing is about the leads is they end up being what we call warm leads. So we have, when it comes to like leads and prospects, you have cold, warm, and hot. So a cold lead is somebody that maybe has just found you on the explore page. They're just in a bit of a scroll hole. They see a funny piece of content, makes them laugh, whatever. They're like, oh, this would be useful. They hit follow. They're what we call cold. They don't know anything about you. They don't trust you. They might even be following for a specific result at this point. It might just be a certain reel or carousel that had them laugh or engage. That's cold. Then we have warm, which is where people will be following certain creators that they trust, that they like, they follow. This creator will then tag you, and their audience will be kind of nosy. They'll go move over. There'll be a level of trust there because they're like, well, so-and-so wouldn't be working with them if they weren't good. They come to us known as warm leads. And then we have hot leads, and these would be like direct referrals. So this would be one of your clients getting a great result, her friend at the office saying, how have you done it? And then she says, oh my God, you need to speak to my coach, so-and-so. That's the difference between cold, warm, hot. Micro-influencers are phenomenal at bringing in warm leads, which is again, like a cheat code in itself. Because they get straight to the DMs, they book calls, they're very easy closes. So in a nutshell, these are the 3 ways that I would recommend that you grow on Instagram. You should check your account insights. If you're not growing, you need to fix it. And if you just want us to take the thinking out of this, just like I have done, hundreds, thousands of people at this point, you got 2 ways of doing it basically. Number 1 is in the description box below. There's a little apply link where you can apply, and then my team will reach out, see if you're a great fit. We'll be really honest with you if we can help or not. Second option is that you just go on Instagram at AdamHaley1. Send me a message, and you and I can have a chat about your goals, number you want to reach financially, how many clients you would like to work with, where you feel you might need the most support initially. And then, if it makes sense, we can jump on a call and go from there. I hope this has been useful. Go and apply it. Let's get some account growth in 2026.